Well, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
You didn't cough that whole intro.
Nah,
Then the stream starts.
choking on my fried fish.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, went down.
All right. I don't need to call 911. We're all good.
Nah, we good.
All right.
How's everybody doing today?
We got a bunch of people in here. 20 right now. Let me see. We got. I've seen Vince and Grayson and Randy and Jeff and Steve, and I'm probably missing people. Let me scroll back through. Well, that's everybody I've seen in the chat, I think.
Got code 3 in there.
Code 3, yeah, he was in there in the beginning. Yeah, hey, Code 3.
So like Michael.
So yeah, it's been just kind of a. And DC, what's up? Nope, no mead tonight for me. We already had that discussion.
Yeah, I asked him, did he have his cup ready for tonight?
Oh, I got the cup, but hey, power to you. So, yeah, Steve, your mead done me in the other night on our, what was it, 4.5, 5 hour live stream we did on Saturday?
Just over 4 hours we ended up.
Hey, Eugene.
Yeah, Steve, Bob was feeling pretty good the other night.
Yeah,
man. Your mead works.
Your mead is potent. But
thinking about that, Steve, do you know what the alcohol percentage is on that bottle?
Just under Mad Dog 2020. Hey, Lisa. No, it's still here, man. But yeah, I got to work tomorrow. So, and I didn't get much sleep last night at all. So, yeah, Steve's laughing. Yeah, it's true. It's a true story. It was brutal. But I slept like a charm too. It was great. I was just like,
I almost made a little highlight reel of that for you. Just
no,
and I said, nah, I'm not gonna do it to you.
But so honeybees, what you got going with yours?
I don't know. They're in the box right now. They were a little cold today.
Yeah, mine.
I think we got up to about 63, but we had a strong north wind blowing in. We're gonna get down to 37 the next 2 nights. So they hadn't been moving too much.
Yeah, we're supposed to hit 36 tonight, and I think what did I tell you earlier? 60 something. Let me see, 60. I got it up here. Tomorrow is supposed to be like a 36 tonight, 62 tomorrow, and then 38 and 67. So it dropped pretty quick temperature wise. So
yeah, good evening there, Tim.
Hey Tim, what's up? Yeah, so I watched your video, Grayson, a little while ago. I've never seen anybody do the sugar like that. Did you see that? Have you had a chance to watch that video yet, Lee?
Nah, not today. I hadn't. I ain't got to watch anything. We've been busy.
So like the whole 5-gallon bag,
5 gallon bag.
5 pound bag. Sorry, thinking mead.
Yeah.
So the 5-pound bag of sugar, he basically opened the end, put some water in it, and then just put the whole thing right in there with the paper and everything. I've never seen anybody do it like that.
I'm about to check that one out.
I'd be curious to see how that works. The normally, like, people would just put a paper towel down and pour the sugar on the paper towel, right? And then the beads could come up through it or on top if it warms
Was that
up.
the mountain camp method or something like that? They called that one.
Yeah, the mountain camp method. D Good Honey in Jamaica does that kind of thing. Hey, Angela, good to see you. Yeah, I've never. I don't know if that's Angela or Steve. Could be either one. Could be both.
Sean.
What did I say? Daisy, your mead is still having an effect on me. Oh, he's done it with no water. He's done it like that with no water.
Let's see. Yeah. Good luck with that, DC.
Yeah, we'll be praying for that it doesn't get to you. And then Grayson, did you find out why YouTube cut you off? I wonder if it has something to do with your age in one of the settings, maybe. Because of stupid people. Yeah, that's usually what it is. So, careless people. But, yeah, God's got it for sure. But my bees were pretty much, I didn't even see them flying when I came home today. It was, of course, it was about 5 o'clock, but they were kind of snuggled in today. So
I ain't even been out to my bees today. As soon as I got home,
tonight might be a good night. As soon as you got home, you hit the mead.
Nah, I had to grab a bottle of mead, take to the local apiary up the road from me. They wanted some, and then I had a question on that honey I was talking about a while back that I pulled. I had 2 buckets. It was reading 19% moisture, but the supers, when I pulled them off the hive, they were 95% capped. But I was getting a 19% reading. So I was talking to him, and I pulled the lid off. And I mean, after honey sits for a little bit, you're going to get like the natural peroxide that floats to the top, the little white foam.
Right.
I thought I could smell a little fermentation. It wasn't much. So I brought it up to the apiary, which, I mean, he's got years and years more experience than I have. And I asked him, and he said they'll get 18.5% moisture every now and then. What they do, they take saran wrap, put on top of the honey just to pull the peroxide off, basically, and then cover the bucket with a paper towel so nothing gets in it. And they put a heater band on it
to help churn the moisture out of it.
Yeah, which he loaned me one of his heater bands, and it'll just warm the honey up. And he says any excess moisture within a day or two will float out the top through the paper towel and then take another reading. And he said any fermentation that you were smelling, he said the majority of the time it's going to be on that peroxide that's just sitting on the top layer. Well, once it evaporates off, he said that smell will disappear, and then your reading will be good and your honey's good.
Well, with all the time that you've had that in the bucket right now, it's been about a month, right?
Probably about 2 months or more. It could be more.
I mean, I'm just looking forward. If you had that, wouldn't it have been better at that point to just stretch some cheesecloth across the top of your honey and like just rubber band it on there and let them.
If I would have had a heater band on it. Now, if it was just sitting there, I mean, room temperature, you can actually attract moisture into the honey.
I got you. Like it'll just absorb it.
Yeah. But he said if you heat it up, it actually expels the moisture out of it.
Okay.
But it was still in the 5-gallon buckets, and I figured if it actually fermented, like a good strong fermentation, it would build pressure in that bucket, and you'd see the lid starting to kind of bulge at the top.
Right.
There was no bulge when I cracked the edge of the lid. No pressure come off. Nothing.
Well, tomorrow night, y'all, Bohemia Bees is having their 10,000 sub giveaway. Their 10,000 sub stream. and Lee and I are supposed to be there at 9:40 Eastern time. So, hey Ed, so that will be an event. There's going to be lots of giveaways. Matter of fact, that's why you can go on bewares.co and get 10% off using your Bohemia 10 code. It's linked at the top of the chat if you're interested. And if you want to order tonight.
Yeah, DC on my moisture, all my other honey that I pulled, I was reading 15 and a half, 16%. No problem. I just had 2 buckets that come out at 19, but everything else seemed to be good. So I don't know what caused that.
So I wonder why they capped some, and like mine was 16 and a half, right? And yours is capped, but it's so high.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured it was at least 90, maybe 95% capped in those supers, and it still come out 19%.
If they, I wonder if that has something to do with, no, they should, I mean, in the wintertime, you figure there's going to be condensation on the lid, right? On the inner cover or the lid. So they should be able to get droplets of water all winter long just off of the condensation, right? Not a lot,
yeah,
but a little bit, because they still need water. I mean, you don't want moisture on them, but they still need to drink water, right? So you would think that maybe that's where they get it. I don't usually have condensation issues, so I don't know. Maybe, well, I usually have a sugar block right on top of them too.
Yeah, I was about to say, a lot of times if you have that sugar block on top or the mountain cap method, any excess moisture that could possibly drip into your eye is soaked into the sugar.
So yeah, I need to go get some sugar. I have still not gotten any regular sugar. Do you store your buckets on concrete?
No, it's on wood.
If you use Mead 20, funny. Nah. Mead 20. You guys, I like how when people come on that we joke and have a good time, and it perpetuates, and it's week after week. Like it could be something that happened 3 weeks ago, right? Oh, Bob, you put your saw blade on backwards. You're still talking about that, right? On the chainsaw.
If y'all notice, he was just mentioning that, so you'll forget the mead.
That's right. Forget all about the mead. I did. Heck, to be honest with you, I forgot somebody won a hive tool at the end of the show.
Yeah. Like, hey, good thing I take notes. So
yes.
I talked to Bob next day. He said, man, I got all the hive tools made and packaged up, ready to mail. I said, how many you got? And he told me, I said, you're missing one.
Yep. So that's good. Good thing. Let me see. I had 19% on a completely capped frame before. The humidity array this year was brutal. Yeah. So that was the thing with the mead. It made me forget the next day, but I didn't have a headache or anything. That's why we got video. You know, the good thing about that is that part of the video is like 3.5 hours in. So nobody that goes after the live stream will ever stay on that stream 3 hours to watch. That is that what we're calling now? Forgot. That's right.
Well, I don't know. I was over on Cayman's live the other night. I was going back and forth between a couple lives at the same time. And old James from, what is it, Michigan?
There he is. He's just chimed in.
He has how's Bob today?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, you were pretty good.
No, that was a flashback from the old days when we just used to talk until we were tired. And now we're tired and we still come on and do live streams. Hey,
yeah.
Tim.
Yeah, Steve, start about 3 hours or so in, you'll see a good side of Bob. It was funny.
No, don't do it. Well, to let you know, it's dusty now. Ooh, this was a full jug of mead the other day. So that got hit pretty good. But yeah, so it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, I gotta let loose and have fun every now and then.
Yeah, why not? I don't do it very often.
I about to say we were sitting at home on the computer. We wasn't out on the roads.
And we're just right here hanging with the buds, having a little bit of adult beverage. of course, I was drinking. I should stick a sticker on that says Daisy's Honey Mad Dog Mead, because it's like that MD 2020 back in the day. But so I mean, what do you got coming up for your bees? Treatments? Are you done with the treatments? What's going on?
No, I still got a few treatments to do on the ones that I hadn't pulled the supers on. And I got to work again this weekend, so I'm not going to get them off this weekend. So I don't know if I'm going to get them off the following weekend or if they're just going to end up getting stuck on there the whole winter.
I may have to work on Saturday. I don't know yet. I'm going to try to avoid it, but it's kind of like the sales have been pretty good. So I got to catch up with actually, you sell it, then you got to go back and actually do it. So the part of doing, catching up with the stuff that I've sold is kind of catching up with me. So I might have to do some work Saturday, but I'm going to try to avoid it at all costs. Good luck. That swarm will stick. I'm trying to catch up on the comments, but yeah, nothing real big. No planned special guests for tonight. Just hanging out with you guys, talking bees, and I'm treating my bees to Red Lobster.
Hey, I could be a bee for a night.
That's it.
I like a little food.
Still waiting for my OA vape. Hey, DC, you need to have that guy call me, man. Because I might could put his product on my website.
Hey, Mr. Larry.
If he's willing.
That's that other vape you were talking about a while back, had that video?
Yeah, I don't know if it was still like, it was like $185 or something. It was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap meaning inexpensive. Fed up today, hopefully done hives. Hives are heavy. Good. Let's you want to go ahead and share the link out? Because otherwise it'll be just me and Lee chatting to each other and reading a chat box.
You got it, or you want me to do it?
I just copied it. And then I'll unpin or pin this in place of my other one. Over there. Replace pin message. Good to go.
I feel getting snow up there.
Mike was getting snow.
Yeah, I seen that video the other day.
honeypaddle@gmail.com. brian.honeypaddle@gmail.com. Okay.
Oh, that's the guy with the vape.
Now you're going to make me have to remember something.
I just started into the starred comments for us later.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it in a little while. Mike got snowed in. No, not that much. Did he have that much?
I think somebody said it melted on him pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what he told me on the phone the other day. James said he got some snow too. So all you guys are getting blasted right now, huh? Let me see.
We'd have to have precipitation here to get snow, and we ain't had any in a while. My front ditch bank, generally I have to weed eat it or spray Roundup. I hadn't been able to drive the lawnmower through it in, I'm figuring, 8 years because
Look who
I can actually drive through it right now and not get stuck. It's dry as a bone. Like
Senor Tim.
Hey guys.
Man, you got some red stains on the front of your sweatshirt.
That's right. Go Ohio State. Yes, definitely a Buckeye.
Well, I'll have to find that picture one day to show you that I actually have a piece of parchment from those guys. From the Ohio State University School.
Yes, it's yes.
That's what we say, the University of South Carolina or the USC. And they said, no, USC's in California. And then our guys say, well, we were a university before you guys were even a state. So there's always that debate going back and forth.
I figured I'd jump on before you guys got inundated.
Well, you never know what's going to happen on this show. I did bring my watch. I'm going to shake this bag to see if it calls the wild Charlies out of the woods. Smart Food white cheddar popcorn.
Yep. Charlie gonna pop up on that door behind you there in a minute.
He will. He probably will. He'll pop right up and be like, "Speaking." I thought I heard something through my speakers, and then pop in. So,
Yeah, I see his video. He's making 55-gallon drums of sugar water.
yeah, he puts it to him for sure. So it's the weather switched so quick here. It was like 75 the other day, and then now this morning I woke up and it was near freezing.
Yeah,
So
man, we had 86 the other day.
it's really swapping. So what are you doing with your bees right now, Mr. Tim?
It's too darn cold to do much of anything with the bees right now.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah, it's down in the 30s at night. Might hit 50s during the day. Although this weekend's supposed to jump back in the 70s for a couple days, so I plan on getting in the hives just to do a last check of the girls, just to get internal. I want to make sure that the broods are down at the bottom. They've got plenty of honey, that type of thing. Just a last check inside the hives. After this, I probably will not be getting inside the hives if I don't need to. I just did a paper merge this last weekend. I'll need to check on them, but other than that, I probably won't be getting inside the hives much after this.
I found out yesterday one of the nukes I bought in the spring that was doing really good, they died out. They're gone. So one of those are gone. Here it is. It was the popcorn that did it. And there he is.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys.
Hey, is it me or does Tim's beard kind of resemble Dobie Gillis?
Not quite long enough.
Well, only like probably 10% of the people watching will even know who Dobie Gillis is.
I don't know that one.
Yep. See, well,
you should. It was some good TV, really good TV.
It was Gilligan. Gilligan played Dobie Gillis.
I know Gilligan now.
Oh, yeah. No, he always had a goatee.
Yeah, but he didn't have a mustache. He just had the beatnik.
Yeah, beatnik. The beatnik. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that show. What is it? The many loves of Toby Gillis.
Dobie Gillis. Yep.
Something like that. Yeah.
Hey, Vincent. Hey, all.
Heater in the mornings and AC on the way home. Yep, that's how it was for us today too. But Mike, is your snow back or gone or what's going on?
No, it was pretty much gone by except in the shade.
How much did you get?
Oh my gosh, we got like a quarter inch, but it was that wet, heavy stuff that just hangs. It's just beautiful.
That's what you guys call
only it was 22 degrees. And
22. Wow.
Yeah, so I have to drain my fountains. I usually just put a little salt in them, but we're going to be in the 50s, 60s, and then hopefully on Sunday, I think we might be in the mid 70s. And so that's going to be the day that I pop the hives and put the final feed on and whatnot and pull off the last formic pad. I am putting in the rocket fuel pollen that I made, and it has quite a bit of the pro-life in there because I want to get thymol in there for the bees' guts.
Right.
And then we're making just a crap load of sugar block stuff. And I think Lee and I talked about that, where you were subdividing them in the pan so it's easier to handle.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll do another video on that just because it's just so much simpler.
I find it's better than making one big block and then trying to break it because it's going to crack then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Whoever's done that's it's never worked
tried
with
it.
peanut brittle before.
Very good. Yeah. But the cake or the bread pan method works pretty good.
I really like that, but I need to have mine at a certain height. So the pans I have are only about that high on the side.
Right.
And I'm also putting
just because the pan's this tall, Mike, doesn't mean you have to like fill it all the way full.
Bobby, I would do that, man. You get me in the kitchen, shit's flying all over the place. If I don't have some kind of control, it's just no. My granddaughters would be all over me on that one. why is this one 8 inches thick?
Well, hey, have you noticed what you're talking about your pollen patties? Have you just put those on? Have you noticed, are they doing anything with it?
Actually, I put them on 10 days ago. Actually, 9 days ago. And no, I guarantee they're just all over it. But this, okay, so this pollen sub, it's Ultra B, made with sugar honey, funny honey, because that never, ever, ever dries out for some reason. I've tried. I put it in an open bowl for 6 months. It will not dry out. But I also put Pro Health in there. And are they eating it? We'll find out. I'm sure they're just all over it. Just
Yeah,
because
you can't really go in. Did you use the baggy method, or you just use parchment paper or something?
I just did parchment paper. I don't have any beetles.
Right.
And the patties don't dry out. The only other thing, thank you, Lee. I'm going to grab mine here in a second. There you go. That's basically what I have.
That's what I use, big cookie sheet.
Yeah, and the only thing that I do a little different is that I use Cayman and Reynolds recipe. What is that, like 10 or 15 pounds in a cup and a half of warm water?
Well, which one?
Pack it in there.
He's got like 20 different pollen patty recipes that I've seen.
No, the sugar recipe.
Oh, sugar.
I make the big blocks and cut the knife before it dries. Yeah, Daisy, absolutely. That's what we're doing, both Lee and I. But the only other thing that I do a little different is I do put a little bit of a couple drops of lemongrass oil in there. My attitude on that is I want those things to just constantly be working that.
Right.
And, and leave their honey stores, for when they want to thin those out towards spring and actually start laying. So
yeah, I was about to say, if it's cold enough too, you shouldn't have to worry about any other bees flying and robbing with the lemongrass oil in there.
And they all get it at the same time, and I'm good. Mike, you got a video? I do have one on making the stuff, but I'm just showing scoring it. I'm going to do a full length one, in different stages or whatever. Lee, how long do you leave your pan off before it really sets? Maybe about 3 days.
Really, I hadn't done them yet. That's the way I'm planning on doing them.
Okay.
I've seen a video as far as talking about doing it on there, and they said score it, and that's what I was just talking about. To me,
actually, I put mine over my fireplace here, so
some of them I've heard 2 to 3.
I've tried to put them in the oven like on warm, just to help evaporate it. But the problem is that what happens is the sugar turns kind of gooey, and it doesn't really do right. I mean, it's like still moisture on the inside and hard on the outside, and
for it to work like that, Bob, what you really need to have is a convection oven that has a warming mode on it,
right?
Like a brand new one. If you try to do it with an older oven, you're just asking for disaster. Cayman Reynolds had a good thing where it spilt all over, and he had to clean that up in the oven.
Yeah, I saw that.
Burnt sugar. One other thing, I laid down parchment paper on the pan beforehand, and just, I don't know,
make it come off easier.
Yeah, it sure does. And it actually sticks to the parchment paper a little bit, which is kind of disconcerting. And for everybody that's thinking about making sugar blocks, you can take those sugar blocks in the spring and then reconstitute them into syrup.
Yeah, Mike, do you want to answer that question there?
Water to it. What's the difference between fondant patty and what is? Well, fondant is just sugar, right?
Basically, it's already melted down and made into a fondant. They bring it to a boil at a certain temperature.
And patty is more pollen patty. It's got pollen and sugar and whatever additives you're adding to it.
So fondant is basically unaerated marshmallows. And if anybody's in the north where your bees aren't going to be able to fly, do not go out and buy fondant, from a bakery or whatever, because they usually have tapioca starch in it. And that's just another solid we don't want to have in their guts.
But thing is, I have only one time when I first got bees did I ever have any of like diarrhea from the bees. And I don't know why that is. Probably something I did with making either my feed or making my pollen sub or something that I was putting on. It's probably something I did because it was only in one colony and none of the other ones had it. And, but I haven't had any since then. Just that one time, my first year I was beekeeping. and having
Last winter, I switched to the Hive Alive fond at midwinter, and that worked out real well. I plan on doing that again this year.
the
I would love to do it. For me to buy all my hives and whatnot, it's $100. And I honestly, I'd rather put fondant up there. It
I've had
didn't work in
fun
my gut either. Oh hell, man, that's wonderful. That's so true. But yeah,
So
there
I
are a
think
lot of videos out there showing how to make fondant, and I've never seen one. I've looked at it, but it's years ago. So just for what it's worth. And diarrhea, I did have one hive last year, Bob. It was my best hive. It was one of Troy's queens, and
just
they ended
diarrhea.
up with diarrhea. I didn't see any signs of K-wing or whatnot. And this is where it got a little interesting to me. I asked Troy what he did, because we don't know, what's in there. He says, I don't screw around. I just burn the frames and everything, in case there is some type of bacteria in there or whatever.
Right.
Well, I took those frames and put them in something, and those doggone bees absconded. So, lesson learned. It's expensive to burn, like 2 supers of drawn comb, but
I think I'm going to probably even try to use the Apis Biologics in my sugar bricks. So
that's a grand idea, but just keep in mind you just got that 1 cup and a half of warm water.
yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and mix up however many gallons of sugar syrup I'm going to make feed, and then I'll just use whatever liquid I use out of that feed to make my sugar bricks.
Bricks they have been robbed and relocated. Donnie, did you do a video on you making fondant by any chance?
Made some fondant 235 to 240 degrees for a couple week colonies. Went out to place the bricks, and they had been robbed and relocated. Yeah,
very interesting. Sorry to hear that.
I've got about 4 pounds in this thing I got at Walmart, and then I've got some out that I was using that I was just slicing in slivers to set on colonies. The problem, what I find with fondant here, when it warms up, it tends to want to just melt.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, they don't even want to ship that stuff when it's warm, and I understand that.
But what if I do it like I'm doing the baggies and just score the bottom of the fondant pack and set it right on top where they can get at it and not worry about it?
Bob, I just have enough of the Apis. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to put that in the sugar block. No, why not?
If it's giving them the nutrients they need.
Yeah, or helping them digest better, whatever. My only thing is I wish I had a little bit more of Pro Health, or something to put thymol in there with, and I know there's other stuff up there, but I literally just ran out of it. For me to drive down to the cities and whatnot just to get that.
Hey, Mike, there's this new thing out. It's called Amazon. They'll actually bring the package right to your front door.
Yeah.
Or there's this thing that we have called the internet that you can order and they'll mail it right to your mailbox.
What is this interweb thingy you're talking about?
Ooh, they have the internet on computers now. You ever seen that Homer Simpson?
Yeah, funny. No video, just a YouTube. Donnie, I'll definitely look that up, but thank you for getting back to us.
Yeah, all Sam does with his is he's got some he's cut down strips of hardware cloth.
DC, you should see my snowblower. Sorry.
He's cut down strips of hardware cloth and he just sets that over the frames, and then he puts a paper towel down and just pours sugar right on top of it.
Oh yeah,
the cloth and nail it to the frame, and then kind of wet your sugar, and I've seen them pack it in.
Yeah, that's kind of what Charlie was doing, but Charlie says he's going to try not to feed sugar over the winter because
I look at it as insurance. I mean, how much is sugar and how much is the loss of a hive?
Well, the thing is, what I've heard. Again, I don't have winters like that, so I don't have to really worry about it. But when they cluster, they would rather move up to get to the feed because they can't break cluster to get the honey that's on the outside of the box.
Well, the whole cluster will move. And speaking of which, I think it was the Bee Whisperer that brought this up. If you open up your supers right about now and you see the bees all on one side of the box, do not put them in the middle. Let them eat their way over. If you put them in the middle, they're going to eat that area out, and they might get all the way over to one side, and then they just can't make it back to feed. So just a little tip, but that's real cold weather crap here. So
yeah, so like I think probably I didn't see Cayman Sugar Brick thing, but it's probably the same as everybody else's Sugar Brick. Just he has more viewers to watch his stream. But yeah, the thing is, at the spring, if I've got sugar left over, I just toss it in the 5-gallon pail and add water to it and dissolve it.
I actually am using some sugar bricks that I made last year. It's fine. It doesn't go bad, but Grayson's in the stream.
Yeah, he's in the back room. Gonna add him.
I don't know, Grayson. Are you old enough?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Greg.
guy.
I thought I'd just join for a second and talk for a little bit.
A second, you did a 2-hour stream by yourself the other day. That's impressive because I don't go longer than like 30 minutes if I got to talk to the chat box.
It was a last minute plan for me to do that. I was thinking it'd be cool to do a stream every once in a while. So then I did it Sunday, but now I think I'm gonna do it every Monday. To make a day to do it.
Did you ever find out what what happened with YouTube? Why they shut you
I
off?
think it's just because Vincent was under 13. I looked it up. It said 13 or older can do it, but it said under that has to be something about with an adult.
Okay.
Well, hey Matt, I just saw you come in. I saw people talking or chatting to you. Don't be
Hello,
bitter.
everybody.
I'm not bitter. I don't get bitter.
He gets happy
I get happy.
with
And
me.
then he just smells bitter.
Anything that smells bitter, right? Hey Dennis, good to see you. Yeah, so the condensation of the bees, right? So they're warming up, cold air on side, moisture drips down onto the sugar, makes it harder. Yep, that's the same thing. Same thing I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done that, Dennis. I did that last year with the rapid rounds.
I've heard some of them say as far as the mountain cap method, just throwing the dry sugar on there. Sometimes the bees that take that sugar and just carry it out.
Yeah, they will.
And then,
Toss
like,
it.
but that way, if you got water, I mean, it kind of solidifies and it's stuck there, so they're more prone to eat it versus just ripping it out the hive.
I'm curious to see how Grayson's method works because he puts literally the whole bag of sugar on it, still in the bag, and opens one end and puts water in it.
I put around 7 ounces of water, like a little jar that you'd use for sugar water feeding. First we didn't add that, and then I figured out you need to add a little liquid to the wherever they're eating anything because bees eat out of their proboscis. So then I added some water, and then one of the colonies, like the smallest colony, I'm kind of acting like it's like a backup colony just in case something goes wrong in the other colonies. But it ate every single bit of it. Like they crawl up into the bag.
So, Lee, someone talked about a candy thermometer. Gunline did. Tim, so you
Still don't know what mine is. I didn't look.
Yeah. So, okay, I got the candy thermometers coming out of my ears here. So, that's right. I kind of remember that from years ago, Gunline. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
I haven't seen many videos from Vino Farm lately.
No.
I
No.
hadn't seen one in a while.
Hunting polar bears. Hunting polar bears.
That's right. We almost forgot about the polar bears.
Oh yeah, that's the only downside of living where I do is that in the spring you have to go out and drag the dead ones that froze your lawn off.
You know, we're kind of lucky down here. At least I don't have problems with mice in my colonies. I don't have any of those issues. I do get ants. I do get moths. I do get beetles. Obviously, mites. Everybody pretty much gets those now. Even Australia.
Yeah.
Bob, I can't remember. Do you have cats running around?
Not outside, no.
Okay.
I got 2 inside.
Yeah.
She's not showing up tonight, though. She hasn't made her appearance.
Yeah, I saw her the other day. I didn't know if they went out. Something. I've had 1 year where a mouse chewed on my. Actually, it was uh, a a screen bottom board insert thing, and they chewed on one sensor,
Yeah, I
but
haven't had any issues with that type of stuff, so I'm pretty good with that. It's the other pests that kind of get it. I do have I've kind of come to the conclusion that the excess paint that I had painted my honey house with, that I'm going to go ahead and paint the boxes that I dipped in Eco Wood earlier this year, just to go ahead and just, I know the paint works, right? And the boxes that warped and everything like that, it didn't give me the warm and fuzzy feeling about my investment on the boxes, saving them. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get those painted.
yeah, you might want to take a sander to them just to break some of that stuff up, and then of course use a really good primer. I have no idea. EcoWood, everybody kind of jumped on that at first, and thought, well,
Well, I
wait a
saw
couple
some
years.
people saying they had been using it for like 5 years and they never had any problem. But
Yeah,
I use it, but what I found is you have to screw the boxes together. If you try to use a brad nail or something like that, forget it. It's going to warp. It's gonna separate. It protects the wood, but it warps.
Do
Well,
you glue? Do
you
you
tell
glue
me.
them too, Tim?
What you say, Lee?
Do you glue your boxes too? Or
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
so what I was referring to, Tim, is the finish actually just coming off the wood.
Oh no, I haven't had any problem with that.
No, it
Yeah,
just so
I've seen a bunch of people that have that. Was it in the kiln long enough? I mean, was it prepped? Was it a bad batch of EcoWood? Whatever.
it might
But
have just
some
been a
people,
bad batch
Yeah.
of boxes too. They might have just used the cheapest wood because of the increasing prices.
well, that's what I was getting at. I mean, how well is the wood prepared? I'm like, we don't take wood out of the kiln here until it's like at 18%, and that's actually over dry. But the point is, we're drying it down to the center,
Right.
and yeah, so
Well, see, now I got a moisture meter from work to test wood. So now
yeah,
I can see what the wood moisture content is.
hey, go for it.
So it's supposed to be between like 14 and 16%, I guess, moisture in wood. So I'll get to see mine, how much mine is. So yeah, Hale's been using it for 2 years.
Do you have any warping on your boxes, Mr. Paul?
Well, he may go ahead and use screws when he puts his boxes together. Ever since I've been doing, I've been using staples and brad nails, right? And this year, about 4 or 5 boxes just decided that top frame rest was just going to bow out. And
Oh,
I've seen people like re-wet the wood, like they'll drill it out, run a screw, and then wet the wood so it's a little bit more hydrated, then sink them in and start pulling the wood back together over time. But
I use pipe clamps and screwed them back together.
now, do any of you guys put a little Type Bond 3 in there?
Yeah, that's what I use on all my boxes.
Actually, Tim, I'm really surprised at the number of people that don't do it. In fact, I think Bob Binney was just building some boxes, but I mean, his stuff is such insane tolerance. Um, but I know he put some glue on some other ones.
well, I use wood use glue when I build my boxes, but I bought some boxes that were pre-built, right? They were pre-made, and I think those are the ones that are having the issues. So clamps
See,
and tight bond. Yep.
All of my boxes I've bought is already pre-assembled, but they're glued and nailed.
I've got 2 long clamps that I could clamp the boxes with, but I don't know that it would take a long time to do a bunch of boxes, because you got to clamp them and then wait, and then clamp them and then wait.
Glued, stapled. I've treated the wood before assembly, so all the grain is treated. Yeah, grand idea. Regardless of what you're doing, except for somebody to me that paints it. But if you do paint them, my gosh, use a good brush to jab that primer into every exposed crack out there. Lee knows exactly what I'm talking
See
about.
where mine come together on the end. You got that exposed wood grain on the end.
Yeah.
I stack all my boxes up 6, 8 tall or whatever, and I paint or prime just the corners first. Do all the corners on all my stacks.
That's a great
I
idea.
come back, I put another coat just on the corners, and then I prime the entire box. That way, the corners are protected even more.
The
No.
media says we know Rich like you, Mr. Lee.
Now, do you guys do you paint the edges of your boxes, the tops and the bottoms?
Yep.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
That's where the moisture. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's the top,
Yeah.
box, that's
Yeah.
where
I don't have a single box that's painted. I don't. Mine are either eco wood or they're waxed.
Okay. Now, when
I
you
wish
say
I wish I
wax-
could wax all of them.
Yeah, Tim, I wanted to do that, but I'm using the insulated paint. So if I had an actually dipping tank, I could take it out and then paint it immediately. But just
Wait a minute. Say that again. What kind of paint?
I'm using it's an insulated bead paint, thermocells. So it's kind of like it's reflective. The beads are all the same wavelength as of an infrared wave. In fact, I have it in the wall in the bedroom in the cabin here. Now people come on over and say, "I want you to put your hand on the wall. It's 20 below out, and count, start counting and let me know when it's warm." And almost instantly, they never make it to 1. It's
I've
really,
never
really
seen
good.
that.
Yeah, it's really good at reflecting heat. And honestly, I'm thinking about our folks down, where bright sun and whatnot. It's probably going to benefit them a lot more because any kind of reflectix that you use needs to be closest to the heat source. Well, I just paint the outside of mine. The one grace of the thing, and I've got to do a video on this, regardless of your painting, I put 3 coats on, by the way, but anybody that does that, the beauty of that stuff for us average guys is that it has a slightly sandy finish, so it's just a hell of a lot easier to handle boxes.
Yeah.
The
See,
grip-
I prime mine with the Zenzier paint, the same thing that Bob Bennett uses.
yeah, same
But
here.
then I go over it with the Bear exterior. It's a latex enamel, so
Yeah.
it gets a little bit of rough exterior finish.
And how much is that going for a gallon now?
The primer is about $20 a gallon, and the paint, don't quote me, but I want to say last time I got it was like $52 a gallon.
Yeah, I think it was like 65 here when I bought it last summer.
But I put at least 2 coats, sometimes 3 coats of primer, and at least 2 coats of finish on it. So I
it's
figure, if I protect them good to start with, they'll last longer for me.
Yeah, and we're both using the oil-based primer because it soaks into the wood better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee does have pretty boxes. So we have a construction chain here called Menards, and
Right.
I always like walking in back, and I'm going in back, and they have all these paints there that people brought back. And Lee, when you see my boxes, I want you to know I didn't copy your colors.
just happen to be the colors.
It
Yeah,
just
I
comes
was
that
able
way,
to get the high-end Sherwin-Williams paint or whatever they had there for $10 a gallon. I'm like, yeah, okay, these will look nice.
Yeah, it's one of my yards here.
I'm with you, Gunline. I like that natural wood look.
Oh, both. They've got their place. I love the natural wood too. Yeah.
Well, all right. So we've talked about what we're doing for feed and treatments. Obviously, we've been talking about that. So let's talk about what's the first thing you're going to do as far as off-season beekeeping. Like, is it going to be painting boxes or melting down wax, putting together frames? What's the first thing you usually do once the bee season's over as far as beekeeping?
I'm probably going to be trying to buy more supers over the winter and getting them primed and painted. That way they have time to air out, get that fresh paint smell out. That way next spring, put them to work.
Right.
I need to organize. I have got 3 garages here, and I've got boxes and hardware and all of them, and I need to I need to get organized this winter.
I don't have any of that, any storage area. So I basically have 2 sets of, or actually, yeah, 2 sets of hive stands, the old ones that I took down and replaced, that now just hold my empty boxes off of the ground. So I need to go back and paint those. And And then I've got a pallet full of nukes, right? So I've got that sitting over there, nukes and a couple 2-framers. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff to do. It's just I haven't really set a workflow of what I want to do first and how I'm going to attack that. So I was just curious how you guys do it. What's usually the first thing you guys do after the season? It's like, okay, I'm going to do this first or that first, or it's kind of like, do I build boxes? Well, if I build boxes, then I just got more boxes sitting around that have nothing in them, right? They're just sitting out there.
Yeah. The thing that helps me out with my storage, I have a single wide trailer next door that I had before the flood we had in 16. Well, once the flood come through, I ripped everything out, and the entire thing is nothing but storage now. So I have plenty of room to put all my boxes.
Lee's B yard is more organized than ours. Yeah, Lee's B yards. Well, it's easy to keep them organized when you don't work your bees.
Yeah, exactly. You got to actually go out there sometimes.
You just set them up and take a couple photos and come back next spring.
Yeah.
But Grayson, what do you do?
Oh, during the winter, I'll usually plan ahead for like the next year. Usually, I'll this year I'm planning on like taking some more courses, reading more books while the bees are quiet and just doing while the beekeeper doesn't have too much to do. I think they should learn a little more. There's not like a limit of how much you can learn. There's a lot you can learn. There's probably there's a lot. That's why this year I'm thinking about reading more books, taking more courses, maybe get more bee boxes and equipment. I'm ready for next year because if I do splits, I might not have enough for that.
Now,
So,
when you buy your boxes, do you buy them pre-built or do you build them yourself?
well, when we first started, we bought them unassembled. I built all the frames, all unassembled frames, like nailing them, gluing it all together. But now when we bought our deep boxes, when we bought nukes, I forgot if it was this year or last year, but we bought some more boxes because we're running out, and we bought them like assembled, which is probably a little more expensive than the unassembled.
Yeah, I found that if they're built correctly, when you buy them assembled, it's a good deal. But as you can tell, what we were just talking about with the warpage and everything, I spent a little bit of extra money, and the boxes are actually worse than the boxes that I built myself. So it's like, time or quality is kind of where I went. Oh yeah, Charlie's not here yet. We got to give him another call.
I started up my popcorn machine for him, so
Oh, I do see the light on back there.
yeah, that's the warming light.
It's going to smell great in there too if you start.
Oh, yeah, it really does. By the way, if you ever want to have a whole herd of cats go absolutely nuts, bring some catnip in and put it in the dehydrator and let it off gas in your entire home. I swear they took the walls off. Assembling my own for that reason, Bob.
Well, there's a chance. I haven't seen him yet. There's a chance that we might on the website start carrying some Ricky Rourke Langstroth boxes.
Hey.
So we're working on that. So we're going to see.
Explain.
So Ricky makes hives, right? He makes long hives, horizontal bees.
Oh, horizontal bees. I'm sorry.
And I got a website that sells beekeeping products, right? So
You might as well.
we'll
I mean,
sell a couple. So
yeah.
my thing is if he can make some money off of boxes and the website can make a little bit of money off of making boxes, then it's a win-win, right?
Does he do that full time?
No, he's got a job, but he's got like other people that are building it for him.
Okay, I was going to say that's a lot of craftsmanship for part time.
I think it's his dad, and don't quote me, but I think brother-in-law or something like that. Brother-in-law.
something like that.
Yeah.
If I ain't mistaken, I think Ricky works on planes and stuff.
Hey, Flower Street, I've seen the same thing. Better be and Dayton.
Have the best woodenware.
That's where I buy all of mine from. Is Better Be.
I bought so many boxes last year, and what I'm finding is quality inconsistency between year to year, shipment to shipment. When you go down there, I bought 75 boxes this last year, 50 supers and 25 deeps and probably 25 bottoms, 25 tops. No, more than 25 tops this year. So it's like it just goes up and down. And Dennis Lentz makes horizontal hives as well.
The best boxes I got this year were at Hive Life, and I plan on buying. Actually, I've ordered a bunch more for this year. They're already pre-built, pre-dip. Those boxes are really good.
$16.50 boxes or something.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the price went way down this year from what we paid last year.
Well, that means the guy probably went to his local mill and got some kind of good deal on the wood.
Where are you going?
And maybe his machine that cuts the finger joints is paid for.
I don't know, $16 for a deep that's been dipped. That's not bad.
Tim, yeah.
Well, if it's dipped the way that Greg and those guys do, I mean, what's that? There's one bee company that sells a wax coated box. But from what I understand, it's
Hoover.
Hoover.
Yeah, it's not wax dip, and
It's coated. Yeah,
it's coated.
Yeah, all the Hoover hives are turning to shit.
Yeah.
The outside of them is. But
the first two boxes or first two hives that I bought was Hoover hives, and I mean they're pretty when you first put them out. After about 3 months sitting outside, they look like crap for about another 3 months, and then they start the whole color is starting to kind of blend together. It evens out, and it will start looking better again.
Is the wax on it so much to where like the South Louisiana heat just kind of melts it away, or
you'll see it kind of flaking off a little?
The bee castles are worse than the Hoovers.
Really?
Yeah, the bee castles won't last you an entire year. The Hoovers will at least last you a year or two.
So Matt and Sarah, they've got at least one Hoover hive. And I can't remember when you got that, Matt, but just made a decrystallizing cabinet. Actually, James, that's what I want to do too, come to think of it.
Well, I've sold almost all my honey, so I don't have a need for one right now.
Yeah.
I've got a decrystallizing truck. You just put it in the back seat.
I've actually done that.
Put a case in the back seat.
Yeah.
Or I've got my decrystallization egg incubator over in the floor that keeps like single bottles like this and in there, and seems to do pretty good.
I'm going to bring up a video here real quick talking about the Hoover hives. Now, like I said, when they're brand new, they look good. After a couple months, it starts looking like mold growing on it because it's just kind of splotchy. But it's just the wax and everything turning colors. But after it evens out, it'll look like this. This is the Hoover hive on bottom.
Wow.
I mean, it don't look bad after it. Well, I had a few supers on there too.
Yeah,
just a few.
And the top two supers there are Hoover also.
I got a bunch of those upper entrances like that, but I use them on my nuke boxes too. Some of them.
I tried them on about 3 or 4 of my supers, and I mean, you had guard bees sitting at the entrance, but nobody really flying in or out, so I stopped using them. I think they're still on those couple boxes, but I don't use them.
Yeah, and there's another problem that I have with Hoover hives is that whatever the hell they claim they're coating with, it's from China. So who knows what the hell's actually on there?
Everything's from China.
Yeah, well, I can avoid an open stairwell. So
can you? I've made the mistake and whoops. Tripped off.
Yeah, no, that's a grand thing. So I think this winter here, I'm just going to be going through some of my equipment and Grayson, the same thing here. I'm going to dig in. I'm actually going to go through the Hives for Heroes program myself because I'm one of the mentors, and I want to see what the heck they're doing there. But otherwise, and I've got just a crap load of videos. So I've promised myself that I'm actually going to learn how to edit videos again.
Well, the highs
One day I'll figure out how to make videos.
the Highs for Heroes
You're fine.
group. I signed up as a mentor. I had 2 mentees assigned to me. I gave them my information, scheduled a time with one of them to show up. The other one never answered back the email. The other guy no called, no showed for his coming out to the B yard. And so it's like, but then you look in the group on Facebook and they're like, we need mentors, the mentors, it's like, well, they got to show up. If you want to learn about bees, you gotta come to the bee yard.
Yeah, so I've had I've been assigned to 5 veterans, and my last 2, Jack and Dustin, they're all over it. But yeah, the other 3, they've got a life. They've found out something that they want to do, but they're pretty dedicated to it. Mike, I got a 24 by 24 tank for dipping next year. Oh, I think I recall you mentioning something about that, Matt.
How deep is it, Matt? How deep is your tank?
Yeah, because he wanted to get the right mix of paraffin and crystalline. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, but my question is how. I mean, obviously, if you got to replace boxes, the cost to dip is cheaper than
24 inches deep.
Oh, it's a 24-inch cube.
Interesting, man.
24 by 24 by 24. That's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
But is it? I mean, I don't know how much that paraffin / crystalline blend is, and how much you have to buy to do, like the boxes that I have.
Yeah. So Cayman did a thing on the mix ratio and what kind.
But he buys it like it's already mixed, right? So you just melt it.
No, it's not. He's if I remember right, and I could be wrong, he's buying the individual bricks of the paraffin and then the crystalline and then mixing them together in the melter there. But hey, buddy.
And that's the different with the coated, but the coated boxes do not have the mix.
Right. So they're heating it up, right? It's heated up. You put the box in for X number of minutes, and I guess the moisture comes out of the wood and the wax gets sucked in.
Well, yeah, when they're done properly, like the boxes I got this past year, you look at the boxes; they don't have that thick coating like the Hoover boxes. You can take your thumbnail and scratch the wax on the outside of it when you buy it. A properly dipped box, you cannot scratch the wax. There is no wax to scratch.
And somebody asked, how long do you leave it in there? Leave it in the tank until it stops bubbling. That way you know that you've got all the moisture cooked out.
I think I heard before, 5 to 10 minutes be about long enough. I mean, that should have enough moisture out of the wood and then absorb the
2 at a time
wax into it.
Interesting.
Oh, there is a company out of California.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I got that. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, but I don't like, again, I don't know how much that stuff costs to see what unless you're doing 1,000, buy them already done. It's cooler.
And actually, come to think of it, I'll probably be building a bunch more equipment over at the wood mill too. We did 60 boxes over the winter, and so I mean, we're always busy, and when you're working at like 20 below, it's nice to go in the shop and just pound a nail. So
right.
I guess maybe I'll do that. But
you probably got like a wood stove or something out there, right?
Well, Vince's shop actually is heated by the boiler system that runs the kiln and heats the house and everything else. So you go through that much wood. We got plenty of firewood. I think we go through 16 cords in the winter. 16, did you say?
Yeah,
I was a little shocked at that. But this is a big ass boiler and it's heating several buildings and a kiln. It's just what it is. But we've got the wood, By the time you take a 20-foot trunk and then just try to true it to square, you got a lot of scrap there. And nothing.
I burn about three cord to heat my house during the winter.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. The shop is probably 3,500 square foot. No, it's not. It's it's more like 2,700 square foot, and it's not that well insulated. You know, so
My wife had me fire up one of the fireplaces for the first time today.
Oh yeah.
What's it? Are you? I want to ask you, Mike. So, are all your hives are now? Do you have them all winterized already?
No, I don't. I'm actually going to be wrapping them up on Sunday when it's so warm.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm going to be showing how to make lids that replace your migratory or telescoping lids. And it's like an R40 roof on the doggone thing.
Is that going to be a video upcoming?
What's that?
Is that a video that's coming out soon?
Yeah, we'll be shooting that and probably putting it out. I'm guessing Monday or Tuesday of next week. And it's just basically the pink XBS with the Mylar, the survival blanket coating on. And each one of those, the 2-inch ones, that's R10, but each layer of the survival blanket reflects roughly 70 to 90% of the infrared back. So you get 2 layers of that. If you insulate your house like that, you could heat it with a candle. Oh yeah, the like button, folks. Yay.
Yep. Hey, while we got 43 people on here, remember, if you haven't, go to Bohemia Bees and subscribe, because he's trying to get to his 10,000 for tomorrow night's 10,000 sub giveaway. So he's doing the live stream instead of
Is he really?
Yep.
Yeah, instead of the stream team.
Instead of the stream team. So Lee and I will be on about 9:40 tomorrow night. So it's a little bit late for, some of you old timers like Mike, but but that is still like 8:40 for him, so he might be able to hang out before he has to crash.
Oh my goodness!
I was about to say that's 9:40 your time Eastern, correct?
Now he said there will be like $3,500 worth of giveaways tomorrow night.
I like the way he did the pre-registration for all those giveaways.
Yeah, so if you haven't, you got to go to his. He's got a little like video explaining the giveaway for 10,000 subs. You got to fill out a Google Doc. So he has your information ahead of time. So if you win, they can get it out to you.
Say, Sharon just put up a comment here about I quit painting the edges just for that reason. James, what did James put in there? James, I can't keep the paint on the edges of the box. Yeah. No matter what you do, you're going to scuff them up. But when I paint my boxes, I put them on a long suspension pole and leave them out there for a week so that paint really cures.
Yeah, if it don't cure all the way and you put boxes together, it's going to get tacky or sticky and peel off when you open it.
What I typically do is take 2 of my lawn chairs and a big piece of PVC, like 4-inch pipe in between them.
Absolutely.
And hang my boxes on them, and I can do 2 sides, and then I rotate them, do 2 sides, and then run along the edges. And
I find as long as you at least get I use the oil-based primer. As long as you get that primer on them edges real good, if your finish coat peels off, it's not going to hurt that bad as long as it's still got the primer coat on there.
Yeah. Hey, Grayson, you got a question for you there, buddy.
Oh, hey Grayson, explain the difference between Africanized and European honeybees. That's my brother. Well, it's basic, simple facts for new beginners is European bees are just a little more what's the word, like calmer. They did like what the different kind of species of bees there are. The Europeans are a little more calmer. Africanized are a little more defensive in a basic form. And you go into there's a lot more to cover for that, but I'm just gonna go for down the basic route for answering that question.
we'll have to make it like a permanent fixture. Bee facts with Grayson. That'll be like the segment.
Why not?
Boom.
Yeah. So basically, they're hot bees. They're hot bees, and when they go into attack mode, they really go in.
Go into like a little more faster, a little more. I heard that Africanized bees can ball Africanized hornets or stuff like that. People in like I don't know, like Virginia or somewhere, but then European bees can't figure it out, or the other way around, or something like that. Is what I heard.
So you've heard that they will ball?
The Africanized, I think, like ball, like how bees would ball a queen.
Well, that's really interesting. I'll have to look that up because I know that's what the Japanese bees do.
Well, Silver Gorilla's out in Texas. He said they'll cover you up. I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
a video where somebody was doing a hive removal of Africanized bees, and it was in Texas, and they basically went into the. It was in a mobile home. They went into the mobile home, and as soon as they walked in, the bees started just coming out, and they walked 1.5 miles away from that trailer, and the bees were still bouncing on them, trying to
I've
sting
heard
them.
of that.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Generally, your European bee, I mean, if you get stung by one, I mean, it releases that pheromone. You might have 2 or 3, 4 more come out.
Calling you.
With African eye, it's pretty much the entire hive.
Someone was saying the other day or the other week on one of the shows that the normal hive, you have just so many guard bees, where the Africanized bees,
Oh.
you have a whole lot more guard bees. So you have more bees attacking you because there are more guard bees.
Very interesting. That makes sense.
I've heard of a
And by the
different
way-
type of bee. I think most people have heard of it. Killer bees. Have y'all heard of that before?
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much
the Africanized
recognized.
bees.
Like basically Africanized, the mix between something. I forgot. It's a lot to remember.
So a bit of beer, little trivia here. If you do get attacked by a heavy hive like that, if you're next to a house or building that has a window in it, run in there, because I've seen a lot of people getting attacked by that. And I've had a hive here that was hot that just went after my butt too. But if you go inside, immediately they freak out because they can't see the sun, and they leave you alone and go to the window. No, that's just tag you with some pheromones. The rest of the hive can. Yeah, ain't that the truth? The banana smell, the banana of death.
Now, the videos I've seen on, like Bob was saying, in Texas, when they're doing removals or even just working with Africanized colonies for honey production, normally we put on a bee suit or whatever, maybe just a jacket. They got the entire suit, the wrists are taped up, and the ankles are taped up. They said if they find any little entrance, they'll all start going in it.
Sounds like
Yeah.
some of my colonies.
And-
Staple your socks to your ankles.
And by the way, if you have a hot hive, kill the frickin' queen.
No.
Requeen it. It's not
I've
worth
heard
it.
of that. With Africanized, if you change the queen into a European queen, introduce that kind of pheromones in it. I've heard that it might help make them more calmer.
Well, I don't think that's the case, Grayson. If I understand it right, what'll happen is until she replaces all the bees there and they die off. That's usually what happens. So if somebody requeens it, who's that gal? That's the Honeystead. Yeah, she
Come on.
requeened a hot hive and
What'd you
went back.
say? I can't hear you. Just kidding.
Oh,
I muted you for
oh,
a
you
second.
son of a gun. I love it. Sorry about that. But
I get
2
the
weeks
joke.
later, the hive was still hot. No, let it go for a month.
What I did last year on my hot colonies is I took the queen away from her, or from the colony, and made a nuke with that queen, made her really weak. She seemed to mellow out.
I kind of remember that.
The big colony then went queenless, right? So her pheromone wasn't strong in there, so they were forced into crisis mode to try to make their own queen. And then, I mean, it seemed to chill out after a while. But then again, spring started, right? The flow started, so they got distracted a little bit more. So,
Yeah,
you got
before the flow, they were rough.
my thing is with genetics, we hear it a lot in beekeeping that everybody's breeding for the specific traits, breeding for these specific traits. But look how long it's taken anything else in nature to actually breed from one spot, right? From one level, like, if you believe man came from ape, right? How many years it took for that evolution? Or no, it takes a long time. It's not like
No, I'm just joking about the ape thing here because something else. But by the way, it's one thing to take the queen out and replace her or use her for something else, but Kim Floten explained that it's the drones that carry the behavior gene, whether they're gentle or hot. So
Right,
if I have a hot hive,
if you got
I
one
kill
hot
all
hive and you got 20 that aren't,
yeah,
then more than likely the percentage chance of her mating with one of the drones from one of your other colonies is pretty high, right? So
Oh, yeah.
we'll be getting a lesser aggressive colony mix in there.
yeah. But what I was getting at is that kill all the drones in the hot hive too. Remove them all. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
so they
want-
don't mate with the other queens.
I
Thank you,
understand what you're
Graham.
saying. Yep,
Just
I get
wanna
it.
keep that gene pool clean, a little chlorine there.
Well,
I would let hot
luckily, knock on wood, I had surplus queens this year, so if I had to replace a queen, I just replaced her. It wasn't a matter
Okay.
of letting them do it themselves this year.
So Keith brought up something I've heard a bunch of other people too. I would let a hot hive Why would you do that?
Wouldn't let a hot ivory queen.
Hey,
So,
wouldn't.
Oh, thank you. Guys, I'll be back. I'm going to get my glasses.
so you can see the popcorn.
Got to get it back with us.
I'm surprised. Oh, Charlie doesn't usually show up till like right before it's over, and then wants to talk for 2 hours.
Well, it depends on if he's at a bee meeting tonight.
Yeah, it's bee meetings. That's true. This is true. That is true. Hey, William, good to see you, buddy. So next year, I mean, obviously here it doesn't get really cold, but in January, our bees starting to take off this last year, already in January. So hopefully this upcoming year, I'll be able to get some good, queen mating nukes going in the spring and smaller nukes going, sell some nukes, build up some more colonies. But I'm going to do it differently next year because this year I pretty much sacrificed my honey crop, most of it, right, for expansion. So next year, I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Take some of my maybe more established colonies and that split off of them, or maybe the first, this will be some of those colonies' second year. So it should be a honey crop. Just make stronger ones.
About to say 1 year of expansion, 1 year of production, huh?
Yeah, try to do it that way. But I'm still gonna, I don't know if I can contain myself. I don't know if I can be disciplined enough to not split the heck out of my colonies again this year. So we'll see.
Queen, if you
See what happens.
Yeah, Brother Adams, man, absolutely.
Oh, Michael says he's got a bear.
Yeah,
Wow.
you get real defensive then.
Hey,
Well,
Mike, you raise queens, don't you? I know Bob does. You raise queens, Mike?
No, my partner Troy does.
Okay.
I don't have the steady hands to do it, and the eyesight isn't all that happy. But no, why?
No, I'm thinking about it, but I'm with you. I don't really have steady hands, and I'm just not sure if I want to try that next year.
Yeah, I did buy Troy a Pure Coat grafting tool.
That's the one with a little spring action on it.
Yeah. Frederick Dunn said that was his favorite.
Is that the one they call the Master Grafter or whatever, or something like that?
It might be.
Yeah, that's the one that even Dirt Rooster was talking about. Had like 1 million. I think he said it had like 1 million grafts with it, and it was still going strong.
Wow.
So,
okay.
You're making some queens if you do 1 million of them.
I think it said something about all they did was replace the spring in it.
Yep. But yeah, so I mean, luckily I'm able to find queens here now, thanks to Cutix being up an hour away, where I can get queens early. Typically what happens is you find them in
There it is.
California, like Jose and Greg up north, but I can't get them early enough to do what I have to do in the spring. So that's kind of where before this past year it's kind of been an issue. So Grayson, you're only like 6 hours from me.
I think so, around there in southeastern Alabama. I think around 6 hours, I think. We've been in South Carolina once or twice before.
Well, next time you come through, let me know.
Definitely, I
We'll
will.
get a hamburger or something. But the yeah, so Jose's Queens. I love Jose's Queens. I like the Cutie Queens, but from what I understand, in talking with Charlie, because he gets stuff from them pretty regular, that they just were not as good this year as they've been in the past.
Yeah, they could have been damaged in shipping. I mean,
Well,
you
I
know.
shipped them. I went and picked them up. But for him,
I thought you were talking about Jose. I'm sorry.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
Jose's Queens did good.
Good.
And then I got Greg's, but Greg's, I think Greg stayed in his pocket too long. Is what I think happened, because he had he went down to Alabama to
That's
see
right.
Bruce, and then he went to Florida for a week, and he was coming back up, and he called me and said, "Hey Bob, I'm gonna be coming through your area. If you're near Columbia, I can just swing in for a few minutes." I said, "Yeah, I'm in Columbia," and so he swung by. And I said, "You don't happen to have any queens with you, do you?" I was joking. He says, "Well, actually, I do have one queen." So I swapped him some South Carolina honey for his queen, and a Pepto Pink, but it had been in his pocket for a week, and he had been feeding it honey with a toothpick, and it was in the colony doing good, and it laid some eggs, and then next time I went in there, she was gone. So
Okay.
I don't know if they dispatched her, or from being in the pocket too long and started to try to make a queen, but then I ended up squashing that cell and merging one of my nukes into that colony, and growing with it, because it was just getting a little bit too late in the year, or it'd have been a waste of time if it didn't come back. It was a gamble. So
I think next year, this spring, I'm actually going to try some on the spot queen rearing, and so on and so forth. Later queens seem to be better in the experience. I'm not sure if there weren't many draw. Yeah, that can be.
But now I've got people that got Cutix nukes that are just exploding. I mean, they were very packed when you got them, and everything. But the queens didn't. I mean, they weren't that great this year. So we'll see.
Bob Binney mentioned if you're going to buy queens from somebody, pay attention what the heck their weather is down there for like the month or two before that. Because if it's been raining and miserable and the queens can't go out and have the real good strong multiple matings, that's just another little thing there.
Right.
So
we'll see how that goes next year. But I'm thinking about putting a list together of people that might want some early season nukes. But the only problem is I'm not going to ship them. So it would have to be people like kind of in my region, in my area, to be able to go get them, and then or make a run, like drive up to see Tim in Ohio, and along the way start chucking nukes off the side to people. Hey, we're going to be at exit 55 rest area. Be there at 9:00. We're leaving at 9:30.
Yeah, I'm make a quick little announcement here. We got 47 people in the chat, and Tim at Southwest Ohio Bees is 47 people short. 47 subs short of having 500.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to drop a link in the comments here. If y'all go over, give him a sub.
I would appreciate that.
Try to get that 500 mark and get a community tab.
Bob, drive them to Mike, and we aren't that far away. Actually, Matt, you know what you want to do, Matt, is you want to get some of Troy's queens. Come on up here. He sells them in 3 frames. He doesn't sell individual queens.
I had terrible luck this year with my walkaways. It was probably June before I started having luck with my walk. I mean, I had drones galore as early as April, but no luck with my walkaways till probably June. Then I had no problem after that. But until then, I just could not get a queen to come back.
So what do you have for mating boxes?
I was using resource hives.
Okay, and you got the front of the hives marked or someplace with it? Of course you do, Tim. I had to ask. Honestly, By the way, something that's been driving me nuts. All of my hives are marked in front, and it occurred to me, I can mark the tops too. So I've got really tall trees here, so the bees fly up 60 feet before they come down, and I'm like, well, wait a second, that might eliminate some drift too. So, whatever.
Yeah, I use fluorescent paint. There were some studies done that the bees see fluorescent. Evidently, they see that fluorescent. So that's what I use is fluorescent paint.
Yeah, wonderful.
All right. So James asked, "How does creamed honey sell?" I've never made it personally. Have any of you guys sold it?
I hadn't sold it yet. Now next year I plan on it because I've got a creamed honey starter that I'd been working on. So now I just got to start mixing it with more honey.
I'm toying around with buying the licensed creamer this winter. I really am.
Now we know who got all the money.
Yeah, something like that. But I have to have a come to Jesus meeting with my accountant, and then she'll tell me I'm wrong. But yeah, I'd like to do that. So creamed honey. We've got a guy west of the Twin Cities here. Oh man. And he's the majority of honey that he sells there is creamed with blueberry infused creamed honey, and the people are just all over it. So and you get a premium for it, So what'd you do there?
A shot of my hot honey.
Oh, there you go, brother.
Yes, it's aging to fine perfection. The longer those peppers stay in that honey, the better it tastes.
Yeah.
Is this still your original batch?
No, this is batch 2.
Okay.
No.
Batch 1 had some flaws. I found out from Greg. So when Greg came to get honey, I gave him a bear of the batch 1, version 1.0, and it was thin. I knew it was thin. I told everybody it was thin. I also said, don't let this sit. Use it right away. And he decided to put it on his shelf with all the other honey.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Did it explode?
Yeah. Well, it leaked.
Okay.
So that went.
Elderberry bushes. Neat. So my premium here is my ghost pepper honey. And it's a bit different than Bob's as far as the mix is concerned, but that's what I get a premium for. So if I sell honey here at retail up at our little country store, it goes for $10 a pound. The ghost pepper honey goes for $20. So
yeah, I've been getting $15 a pound for my hot honey.
Yeah, find your niche and run with it. So the thing that gets me is that
don't let Vincent get me kicked off now. Get kicked off of YouTube for age violation. I see that chat going on there.
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes YouTube can be funny about the stupidest things.
Oh yeah.
But he was on before and they didn't kick him off, or they didn't kick us off. But then him and his brother went live yesterday and they stopped it midstream.
I'm about to say it may have been because it was on their channel that's registered under that age, possibly.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Right.
I looked it up. It said
could just be the YouTube police.
It said that if 13 or older can do live streams, but it said under that can't unless if there's adult supervision or something like that. So I guess that's why he didn't get kicked off last time when he was on. That's my guess.
And then we got Grayson, who's been hanging out with us for the last few weeks. He's about 18 short of 100 subs. So if you're not subscribed to Grayson's Wildwoods Honeybee Farms, plural, please do so. And let's see if we can push him to his 100 subs tonight.
That's my goal. I like to get
link.
even.
I just dropped the link in the description or in the comments.
It's a good goal. Get started.
Get started and keep on going.
Well, 2 weeks ago, you only had, what, 20?
20, I think. So that's a pretty good achievement.
Yeah, 24 when we started.
24 when we started, and got him to 77, right?
77, and then now I'm at 82.
Well, there you go. So gotta keep it going. Boost people up. Mike. Yeah, don't worry about Mike. No, I'm just kidding. Mike, how many you got now?
Oh, 85, 95, something like that.
You got more subs than that.
No. Well, you got to remember that a bunch of people refer to my channel as what my apiary is, Coon Lake Hive, and I'm sure that's pissing somebody off someplace.
Well, hey,
There you go.
you YouTube fact checkers there, see how many Mike actually has at Coon Lake Hive.
I think it's 85. I think.
It's
Something like
currently at 98.
Oh,
Let's see.
oh yeah, because Vincent just subbed to me, and thank you for that. But
I'm going to reach over here and press this button, see if we can get you at least to 100.
You're such a wonderful man. Honestly, I put that up for my own amusement more than anything.
So,
but thank you very much. Appreciate
I got
that.
a video clip that Mr. Gandy sent me, Larry. I'm going to try to
5-gallon bucket.
share it with you guys. I don't know how big it is or how small it is or what.
What is that?
Download it. Oh, it's a movie file. Real quick, it's
Okay.
his B. What the heck is going on? Windows Media Player. Fine, go. Let's do it. Let's see.
Oh wow! Oh. Who was that, Bob?
That's Larry Gandy.
Yeah. That's an expensive rig.
Gandy Bros.
Oh wow!
It'd be cool. I'd do that just to drive the machine.
Yeah.
What size trailer are you using, Mr. Larry? Oh, it's a flatbed.
I was looking for him in the comments here again. I done lost where he was. There he is.
Oh wow!
Job well done.
Very nice. Thank you all. That attachment for a skid steer, that back wheel, if you're going to do that brand new, that's a $15,000 add-on.
Let's see. Oh my gosh.
Like
The no name guy who's got more subs than all of them combined. You're lagging a little bit there, no name guy. Oh, where'd he go?
he completely lagged. I'm going to drop Larry Gandy's YouTube channel in the comments here also.
So some people have been talking about making creamed honey at home in a bucket.
It's the no name guy.
Now I know they got a little attachment you can get and put on your drill and make it in a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, name guy. I wonder if that's Dustin.
That's Matt.
It
Or
is.
Matt and Sarah. Or
You son
lasering,
of a gun.
lasering
Okay.
with Matt. Or what's all your channels?
I don't have any channels.
He's got like 20. Don't let him
I
fool
do
you.
not.
Oh, that was the number of lasers you have.
Yeah, I got a lot of lasers.
How you like the new one?
Yeah, Matt, seriously.
I love it.
You
What's
like
that,
the
Mike?
thunder laser?
Matt, seriously, next year when you're going to go Queens, give us a good heads up and we'll get you some from Troy.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to you about that. You want help editing? I'll help you out with editing.
You know something? I just got. What the heck is this stuff? It's an open platform one. It is called Shortcut, and I used to do a lot of video editing on what do you call it? Adobe Premiere, but it's been back in 2006. So that's that. But Troy sells his queens on 3 frames, so you're actually getting a 3-frame situation, not just a queen. So,
You know, I really like Matt. If you guys haven't had a chance to talk to Matt, he's just as funny on the phone as he is on his video.
he's a hoot.
Thanks, Bob. You're not that bad of a guy either.
That's up for debate.
Hey, but Matt, I'm really glad you got to see me again.
Yeah. I finally just got done working. I'm like, I'm going to go on here before I go to bed.
So, how's your lasering going?
Good. Very, really busy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's a
not.
good thing.
Good.
I'm not, but I haven't. It's my own fault. I have not tried that much. I haven't pushed out there that much because I had other things that kind of popped up, like a day job now. And
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks for you.
yeah, well, it's going good
Sorry
though.
about that.
It's going good. I honestly made the statement that if I would have found this career that I'm doing now 30 years ago, I'd have been in it the whole time.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
wonderful
good.
thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I never really had thought about it before, especially when you're a beekeeper saving bugs, right? And then my day job is killing bugs. It's kind of fun. Well, interesting anyway. But I'm in sales.
Mike, we were talking. You guys were talking about that dipper earlier that I got made. I'm actually considering, and I've been talking. I have to convince the wife actually to do it, to let me put all the lasers out in the garage, and then I'm thinking of getting a bigger Thunder laser, the bigger one that can do 3/4 inch plywood, and I can put the plywood on there, cut out the bee boxes, and just go and dip them right away. So then it doesn't even matter if in 10 years they fall apart or whatever. I just throw them away.
What's the
I'm still saving a
wattage
bunch
on
of money.
that?
What's that?
What's the wattage on that?
This one I got is 60, and then I got the new Thunder. It's 100 watt, but I'd go to I think it's 150 is the next one I wanted to get.
Tim, you're shaking your head there, brother.
Envy.
Envy. Laser envy.
Oh, that's what it is.
Hey, Tim, wipe your mouth off right there. You're drooling a little bit.
Really? Yes, I am.
Tim, I'll tell you what, the Thunder. So I got the Epilogue Fusion 60 back here, and that one I used to cut these sheets of wood for this company. And the size that I would cut in there, I put it in here. It did it half the time.
Wow.
I went from an hour on there to 29 minutes on here.
I'll have to talk to you sometime offline.
Yeah.
All the overseas deployments.
But yeah, so I'm thinking if I can do that with the plywood and start dipping, I can make boxes a lot cheaper and faster. So
Yeah, Bob and I have gotten carried away talking lasers on this show. So
Yeah. And then, we go from 50 viewers down to like 25 and then 18. And then I thought this was a damn beekeeping channel. And then it's gone when we start talking about YouTube and all the other stuff. But yeah,
I want to get into the dipping next year and grafting really bad.
I want to do the grafting. I do. But the time, I don't know if I have the time to be able to time it out to be able to do it like it needs to be done.
Well, don't they say you have to? You should have something like 100 hives to do grafting or something like that.
I don't know. I've always just
Someone said you should have a large number of hives to do grafting properly.
Well, this season I kind of went into I started with nukes, and then I built. I mean, from the beginning, I started with nukes, went to 10 frames, split back to nukes for expansion, and then I started splitting to 2 framers this year. But I just did the 2 framers too late in the year to really get any quality queens out of it. But next year I'm going to start earlier, and hopefully the not mite pressure, but the beetle pressure and all the wax mosses stuff will give them a chance to go. Yeah, Lee's got that grafting camera now. He's gonna have to bring the bees in the house.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Lee?
make it big, Lee. You got to make it big. So he bought a camera on Amazon. That's like a microscope camera, so you can look at your computer screen.
Oh, wow.
No way.
I I might actually try my.
Mike's like, yeah, I want in.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm sure he's got the link already pre-programmed.
Oh man, Mr. Lee, that's fantastic.
Gotta have some toys to play with.
Oh, what a grand thing.
I like that.
So show him that
Hang on.
mini mic that, or the micro camera. Sorry, not mic.
Right there.
No. Show him. Actually, pick it up and show it to him.
Oh, the camera. Yeah, let me.
That's cool.
Okay, so it's got a light on the end of. Okay, cool.
What's that thing run?
Honestly, I don't remember. It was under $50.
Bob, I don't think it runs. It doesn't look like it has. It has one stand. It doesn't have any legs.
Matthew, we have children present. I see. That's well placed jabs because he knows I can't give the counter because we've got younger viewers on right now. I got you.
Hey, it's clean.
It's true though, but under $50 for that camera.
Oh, actually, it was cheaper than that. Let's see.
Come on, Lee, drop your link.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I had to switch Amazon accounts. I had to go to the business account. $24.99.
$24.99.
And it's a micro cam USB. But besides it being a regular USB, the top bends over and you can plug it in USB to a phone.
Oh, into a
Oh,
phone.
no way.
Very nice.
So you could plug it into your phone, use the camera, look on your phone. Well, if you had a phone stand, look at it on your phone while you're doing it. That'd be pretty cool. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Hope you're feeling better.
Let's see.
Wow.
Oh, hey, I was going to say, Mike, when you guys are talking about how many subs you had, on my computer it shows that you 105.
Yeah, it went up now.
Thank you all. I'll try not to.
Don't worry, the invoice is in the mail, Mike.
You
All
guys are
these
great.
channels we're building up, but don't worry, the bill's on the way. End of the month.
No, you guys have got a fantastic audience. What a blessing.
Yeah, we got people that will stay for hours just to watch me get drunk on a Saturday night.
I was about to say, heck, I'm still on the wrong camera view for y'all. Y'all hear everybody talking and you look at my ugly face.
Yeah, I don't know if they're here for Bob. I think they're more here for Lee and everyone else.
I think so.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob had a little mead the other night, so he was funny.
Well, it's been my philosophy on this. People come for the content, right? They're coming because they want to talk about bees, but then they stay for the personalities and the jokes and cracking up or, the jabs the audience gives you,
You
So,
gotta have a little fun with it.
and then, we got superstars like Matt that come on every now and again.
I am not a superstar. Far from.
Go make me
BC.
go to the tape. What's his
Hey, William. Thank you.
Yeah, Flower Street. I'm waiting on Sawmill Charlie. He finally got his new mic in.
Hold on for Charlie.
We're supposed to be
Come,
working.
Charlie, come.
We're supposed to be working.
How many
on
of those podcasts do you have now, Lee?
Just the two right now.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah, one of them basically just a little 5-minute introduction. And then
I've seen that one. Okay, so you're not producing them on a regular basis yet.
No.
Okay.
Even when I say regular basis, it might be once a month or something like that. I'll do.
I was see, they can't do that. They got me drunk the other night, took advantage of me. I gave away like the farm, like bunch of hive tools, bunch of a bunch of lasered hive tools, bunch of Apis
discount.
Discounts. The
Better not say that too loud, Bob. Your wife might come in.
yeah.
You see a hand go across the screen. Wow.
Yeah, they got you drunk. Yeah, thank
Hey.
you, Hale. Hey. You okay?
I got to get the
Oh,
settings
that's
a little bit
beautiful. I
better.
like that. Who'd you hire to do that?
My little ghetto laser over there. I got to call it the ghetto laser with all these like industrial strength lasers they got in there. They could melt down the Death Star between the two of them.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
I've melted a few things, yes.
It's I find if I make a mistake, especially like on a hive tool or something, it's like, well, first of all, it's a giveaway, so I'm not that worried about it. It was free, right? It's still a hive tool, but but I can only use so many myself, right? So I'm not going to have like this collection of B stock hive tools that have warped, hive tools sitting over there or something like that. And the same thing with tumblers. You mess one up, then hey, not only do I have one, guess what? I got two. That never make it to the shelf. So, or this is one I did that I don't know if you guys saw this. Are you Star Wars fans? First of all, I'm a Star Wars geek, but
Han and Chewie's 12 parsec. Oh, that's great.
Smuggler's whiskey.
straight
I love
Smuggler's
it.
whiskey. So
That's wonderful.
I
Bob,
haven't put this one on Etsy yet because I didn't know with the copyright stuff if they would like knock me
yeah.
out.
So that the logo of Jack Daniels, they'll flag you.
Yeah, but it's not really the logo. I was worried more about the Disney reference, from Star Wars.
They'll flag you. Just on
Now,
that.
don't quote me, but I've heard before if somebody orders something custom and they're requesting exactly what you do, you're allowed to do certain things. But to just pre-make it and put it out for sale, you couldn't do that.
So if anyone tells you, or like, let's say Lee's like, hey, I want you to make me a Vikings logo. I'll put it on a cup and send it to me.
Yeah. I
I can be like, yeah, okay, I can do that, but I can't sell it to you. You can donate me money, but I can't sell it to you. So, and like anything with Jack Daniels, yeah.
I can't sell.
Anything with the Jack Daniels logo on it. Jack Daniels actually has a fleet of people out there, and they'll flag you right away. Disney, they let everything fly. They don't care as of now.
So how do you guys deal with the like you just said? What if somebody just sends you an email and they're like, "Hey, man,"
I don't do it.
You don't do it at all.
Now and then someone will get special permission from one of these schools or something. They'll give me a letter, and I'll do it. But other than that, I don't mess with it. I know Ohio State, they will come in and confiscate your inventory and ask questions later.
Yeah, see, and there's like I'm in a lot of schools, but they give me the permission, but I make it for them, and they do whatever they please with it.
Right.
But if someone emails me that I know and is like, "Hey, can you put this logo on for me?" Sure, I can't sell it to you though. And then they always give me money anyways. But
I can't sell you the logo, but the cup's going to cost you $20.
yeah.
You bought here. Just buy this cup for $20, and then we'll figure out what's.
It's got that smudge on it with whatever team you want on it, but.
Harley Davidson's another one that they protect the logo pretty tight.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So stuff that I've been doing. I mean, it's not been anything drastic, guys. It's just like, well, this would get me hit, right? If I posted that up for sale. This is just like somebody's deal. So just little small stuff, but again, compared to what you guys got, it takes me a lot longer to do something on my machine than it does you guys, right? But
yeah, but you got less money into it too.
Yes, well, I have no money in it now. It's paid for itself, but
yeah,
there are drawbacks to having more power. My the first time I did a Glock on my fiber, I actually melted the Glock.
Oh yeah, you didn't know it.
So you bought yourself a Glock, is what you're saying?
It happens. Not anymore. It doesn't, but it did.
I'll say he bought a melted Glock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had plenty of people come and say they want that stuff done, and I'm like, nope, I'm not buying anything today.
You say
I do specialize in guns now, but that was the first one.
I'm actually looking at the fiber laser from Thunder Laser. They have a pretty good one. from what I'm researching. So I'm like, maybe I'll get that one next spring.
So wait a minute. I feel a tremor in the force. So you're like shifting off of Epilogue. I feel.
Yeah, I might actually sell that Epilogue because I got offered $50K for it. So I might dump it and go down some different avenues of different lasers.
Now, how long did it take you from ordering to receiving the Thunder Laser?
That was 3.5 weeks.
That's not terrible.
There you go, Bob. Just pick up a used laser there. It's only $50K.
Well, hold on. Let me go get a second mortgage on the house.
Well, you're working now, Bob.
Yeah, it's true. I'm working. It could happen eventually.
Mike will help you out there. Mike will give you a loan.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'll borrow from Grayson. I'll pay him back.
Mike, how many hives are you up to now, Mike?
We just have a dozen here at the cabin. That's it. I've got one guy that wants me to put 20 over in his thing, and the wood mill guy wants 10 over there. And honestly, I'm just really happy with what I have. You know, I don't want to have, like 40, 50 hives. So
I want to get to 100 really bad, but it's going to take me some time. I still have a lot of learning to do. So
what do you have, Matt?
Yeah,
I got 8 now.
Yeah. Honestly,
downsized.
Yeah, I don't count that well. Thanks, William. How many feet am I holding up?
I think with my colonies, I think I'm good where I'm at right now. I don't need to go any more than what I've got, with running the queens and running the nukes. I think I've got enough for the moment. I've got the equipment to make more, but it's like I think I'm going to get more into making nukes and queens with those, because you can make a lot more money with the nukes and the queens over the beginning of the season. Then it kind of shifts to the honey part of the season, right, where you get the honey money. So we're going to see how it goes. Just got 38. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting going forward, especially with after I win my millions. Bob, I'll get you one. You can just buy. I've tried to even hoodwink Matt. Matt's so famous that he gets like free lasers sent to him, and I said
it's an X tool. It's like not even an eighth of a laser.
It's not a what?
Compared to what I have. It's not even like an eighth of a laser compared to what I'm running.
Well, I know, but you got the other. Like sample ones that you said. I even told him. I said, "Hey man, yeah, if you're giving them away, if you're gonna give them away, just send them to me, and I'll pay for the shipping." And,
I text you, and you never text me back.
Oh, that's BS, bro.
I did.
I don't believe you.
I asked you something about. Was it true? You really wanted that X tool, and you never text back. So it's down the road already, man.
Did you get rid of it already?
Yep.
Oh, biscuit.
That person was smiling ear to ear when I gave it to him too.
Yeah, you should have known. Why would I lie to you?
I figured you're too cool because you got a job. You don't want to text back.
The last text I got, it said that you were getting the 20 watt as well.
No, keep going.
That's it. That's the last thing.
No.
I swear.
You guys just aren't getting
I can't.
No.
I can't go back in my phone. I'd prove you wrong. I'll tell you what date and everything it was on.
I saw your pig picture and your new toy.
Say, Matt.
Yeah.
In all fairness, though, between Troy and I, we're running about 100.
Oh, nice.
That doesn't include the nukes and breeder boxes.
So you guys are working.
Well, Troy does most of the work. I mean, he brings me around for slave labor. We had what the hell is that thing? It's a 250 pickup truck, and when we went to pull the hives on the other side of the St. Croix, we had that thing stacked 4 high, front to back. So it gets intense, and I wish I had some kind of lifter or something like that. But we did figure out how to put a lifter on a 6-wheeler, though. That's pretty cool. I've got an aircraft engineer that's a mechanic. He's figured that out, and I don't need that. But we need to make those plans and put them out public there, because I'm thinking about everybody anyone's got a six-wheeler, has a bad back, Lee, so on, that, you strap this thing onto the front of a six-wheel and use the winch to lift everything up and down. And that simplifies life a lot.
That's probably true.
Yeah, Mike, my uncle owns a metal fabricating shop, and I've worked there. I've done metal, well, two of my uncles, actually. One of them got out, but I've done it my whole life. And so I plan on, when I get far enough ahead, to get a flatbed and then put a lift kit on there and everything. I already got it mapped out. I drew it on the corral and have it all mapped out, so I just have to weld it up. But I have to get that far first.
Yeah, so you're going to put that in the front of a four-wheeler?
No, I'm going to do it on a flatbed truck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm with you now. Sorry.
So it'd be like a mini stepler.
That's a grand idea. But by the way, Matt, if you put 100 hives down there, how would you spread them out? Where would you put them?
Oh, I couldn't do it on my property.
I know that.
I have 3 different properties that they're like, you can bring them over. So
now, which thunder did you get?
What's that, Mike?
Dip tank. No wonder you're building a dip tank. DC says.
Yeah.
Which thunder did you buy?
Nova 3500 watt.
So
yeah, that's like buying a Hyundai. I mean, back in the 80s.
How many?
No,
Yeah.
that's
Matt?
above my pay grade, bro.
Matt, are you still playing around with the idea of running flow hives?
I am and I'm not. Now that I got that spinner, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the flow hives, they're great. But like this year, I split up the hives so much that I didn't have a true like solid colony to actually fill them. It was too weak. So, but the ones that were, they're still big enough to make honey in a regular super. So I don't know. I might just switch gears. But the issue I'm running into is space. Between the business growing and then the bee business, I want that to grow. So
yeah, and we talked about that last year. So you'll find your space. That's fine.
Yeah, we're actually looking at a house. It fell through, and they're gonna wait until spring. So hopefully that goes through, and that'll be 8 acres.
Now, if you expand to more hives like you're talking about, you're going to keep them side by side, or you're going to try to go to 4-way pallets?
I want to do a 2-way pallet.
Okay.
So then I can stack them on the truck and go.
Okay.
Your work.
Yeah.
How are you going to laser if you're beekeeping? And how are you going to beekeep if you're lasering?
Well, you kind of get slower in the summer with lasering. So.
Oh, you mean exactly when I bought mine? I get you.
Yeah. And you did good.
Yeah, I got the power of Facebook a little bit sometimes.
I don't know. August is my busiest month. Other than Christmas.
Right now is our busiest all the way up until about mid-July. So.
Yeah, I just need to get like you and have like 1,000 things on Etsy.
Get going.
Get going. Yeah, sure. Let me just knock that out real quick. I don't know. It's like I don't even know if I can do this with my laser, but if you send me $19.99, I'll get you one. I might have to order it from Matt and then or Tim and send it to you, but I can do it.
See, I'm a service business. I don't sell much of anything. I do engraving for people.
Right. Well,
I do plenty of that. You make way more money in retail, though. I'll tell you that.
Isn't that the truth?
But what about? I mean, you've got that shoe store that you did all those things for. What was that? I forget. It was like a table cover or something.
Oh yeah. That they were benches.
For Brooks. Was it Brooks shoes?
Brooks shoes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I do a few hundred of those a year. Yeah. It's a wide variety of things. I just did a jet engine blade this past week. So yeah, you name it, it comes through the shop.
Was that for a display?
It was an award.
Duck call,
Oh, wonderful! Absolutely wonderful.
right?
Duck
Am I right?
calls and goose calls. I got
Goose
50
call.
of each to do.
What is the difference between a duck call and a goose call?
Goose call's bigger.
Probably a deeper sound, right?
I'd start
Yeah.
blowing on them, but I don't think they'd like that.
I got a friend of mine that actually spins his own line of duck calls on his like lathe. He makes his own. So I don't know. I know he goes to a lot of different hunting shows and stuff like that, but I don't know who does his.
Yeah,
About
there's the
$50.
difference.
I
Matt
used
does
to.
Duck Dynasty.
Bob, Mike, what kind of woodmill do you have?
The big log cutter is a Wood-Mizer 4500 or something like that. We can do a 24-foot log on it. But otherwise, we're running, like these giant planers and molders. And we actually have it. You can look at our channel and see this damn thing. Vince is running a frickin' Detroit diesel. It's 1/2 of a pair that was used as a backup power supply for an Air Force base. I think we're running 700,000 kilowatts. So yeah, I know, it's absolutely insane. But when you're running those big 3-phase, equipment, you've got to have that. So
Yeah, Grayson, we're getting ready to head out too, bro.
yeah.
Timing.
Anybody want to take a jump at anybody doing any interesting last minute mite treats? I think we're going to be hitting with oxalic on Sunday here when it warms up.
Yep, same here. That's all I'm doing.
I got to do that here. Yeah.
Oxalic.
So, that's about it. But we'll give that a run. Although I have a friend of mine, this is kind of interesting. A friend of mine is going to use Apogard. He's going to put that in there. And he's using it just basically as a cleanup. Now, Cayman Reynolds said there was a lot of research done in Europe where they've been using it for a long time. And they said when it gets cooler out, it just doesn't work because the bees aren't moving around that much. You don't get the transfer of the thymol. But he's going to give it a run anyways. So that's in the oxalic shop towels we use this year. Swiss towels or whatever the hell those things are. But yeah, exactly, DC. So that's grand. Well,
I need to pull a couple supers, so if the weather's nice this weekend, that's probably going to happen, and then that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, and then we're going to do the super wrap and throw on the feed, and we're actually going to put on a small last minute pollen sub patties too on all of them. And again, that's with the rocket fuel pollen stuff and some lemon. No, that's right. I don't have that. So we're going to put that on, put the feeder shims on, lock everything up, and you guys are going to get kind of a kick out. We literally shrink wrap our hives. That gets kind of interesting. So
just wrap it with the shrink wrap.
Believe it or not, it's heavy mylar black saran wrap.
Okay.
And we have an insulating blanket on the inside. But yeah, it's cool as crap, So
we're lucky we don't have to do that down here.
Yeah, but you know something, brother? You and Lee, man, I absolutely couldn't handle your heat, dude. I'd fall over dead. I really would. And Lee, that's just great that your crane has got that cab.
Yeah.
I mean,
AC and heat works good. If not, mechanic gets called real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Mike, at least we don't have the hive beetles.
That's absolutely true. We the only time that we have hive beetles here is if you buy a package, and then they're there for that one season.
You know, I used to get them. I didn't get them this. Oh no, this year I had 2. There's a guy down the road from me that would bring them up from Texas, and every time he would, then I'd get hive beetles, but they'd be gone then after a while.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I
that's
hadn't thought
it.
about
Probably
that.
don't last long.
Probably freeze to death over the winter.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
came up this spring, and then he pulled all of his hives and left. And the person where he had them, they said that they got kicked out because the horse farm next door. So we won't have them around anymore. So maybe I won't have any hive beetles anymore. But I only get like a handful at a time. I never get a lot of them.
Yeah. Let's say, by the way, Matt, are you letting your honey supers freeze before you stow them, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't have nothing. There's nothing in them now, but
Yeah. Well, wax moths will get into, contrary to common belief, they will get into the honey supers too, not just where they're brood. They're opportunistic. And if you go on Bee Source, you'll see a bunch of people saying, "Wait a minute, no, we get them in the honey supers too." But
yeah,
that's that. And I don't know what you guys do where it's so doggone warm out there. I'll leave my honey supers out until I've had like 3 nights in a row of about 20 degrees. And if the wax moths can live through that, they can have them.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just for you guys, next year I'll start making hive beetle packages just to send you guys.
You're not.
Were you really?
That means he's going to drive them up
too. Sell them for like $10 a hive beetle package.
Oh my god!
And we can put them into like little queen cages, so you can just release them freely.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, hive beetle packages. What are you going to label them? Abbey Road.
That's it. Abbey Normal.
Great.
Yeah, so don't forget tomorrow, Bohemia Bees live stream is in place of the stream team for his 10,000 sub giveaway.
Okay.
And there's going to be $3,500 worth of giveaways on there tomorrow night.
Really?
So, yeah, they're doing a bunch of giveaways. Let me see where he's at. He was close. He wasn't quite at it.
He's at 9.91 right now.
So it's 90 away.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't be able to make it. I got a wake tomorrow, and then we got people coming in from South Dakota.
But if you want to win, you got to go to it says Bohemia Bees 10,000 subscriber celebration. And in the content or in the description, you got to click a link and it takes you to a Google Doc where you got to fill it out.
Didn't he jump to 10,000 real fast?
No, he's been working quite a while.
Yeah, but I thought he was at 1,000 not long ago. Or years.
No, he hasn't hit 10,000 yet.
I'm trying to find the link for the Google Doc. I was going to drop it over here. Maybe it's in the
description of the video. I'm going to drop a link to the video.
The fruits of the hive beetle. Yeah, okay, Spanky. I love that.
I just dropped a link to Bohemian's 10,000 sub video, and
great.
The link for that doc is in the description.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So if you're not registered to win and you show up, you can't win, from what I understand. But make sure you're subscribed and everything. And 9.91. So he's under 100 subs to 10,000 right now. And guess what? His store is going to be the first one to be selling Apis Biologics, where you can walk into and pick it up.
Oh, wonderful.
So
last time I was on Amazon.
Good deal.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it's 10 after 10. It's past Grayson's bedtime.
Not really, but I'm about to go ahead and head on and have some supper real quick.
It's past my bedtime.
It's past my bedtime too. So
okay.
It's good to be here, everybody. Thanks for having me.
That's what's great about being retired. I stay up late.
Well, until 2 weeks ago, I could stay up late, and now I got to get up and go work for the man.
Yeah. What time is that McDonald's open?
I know. Don't you old timers come at 10:30 wanting no pancakes because
10:30.
10:30. Yeah.
I'm
We're
getting up at 4 a.m. for crying out loud. If you can't have it ready by 4:30, I'm going to Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that's me. I'm up between 3:30
You
and
saw
4.
what I saw in Dairy Queen. You wouldn't be going to Dairy Queen.
Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm going to take off here, Guy. And as always, you got a great audience, man. I like it. Nice to see Tim. And I don't know why the hell you even brought Matt on, but you know.
No name guy. No name guy.
We still got 34 viewers, even with Matt on here.
I
Well,
didn't scare him all
the
away.
problem I have is that I'm the token bald man. So
It did drop after Matt got on, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Anytime we get more than one bald guy on, we got to support the laser.
There we go. There we go.
Oh,
Well,
I'm gonna hop off here too, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Y'all have
thanks
a
for
good.
having me.
We appreciate
night.
all y'all.
Everybody have a
Bless
good
you
day.
all, and
Subscribe. See us
we'll see you
tomorrow
soon
night,
enough.
and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
All right.